super fly and watch me fly. 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 Hey guys. If you are on the Discord, you know that there has been several issues that I've been facing when it comes to streaming. But I made it. I am here. And I'm talking on this like this because I'm pretty far distance away from my my desk, because I'm in my Papasan chair. Computer chair is back there because I've been sitting in that chair all day editing and like posting, scheduling, and all that good stuff, content creation stuff. And I was like, I just want to chill. And I've literally been sitting at my desk since like 9, I want to say, editing, scheduling, like back to back. And then I got up to make some food and I'm here. But yeah, if you are in the Discord, like I said, you know the issues that I had. I was going to originally stream Friday after work because it was my last day at that job, and I was going to do like a little stream, just chilling with y'all or whatever. But then it stormed and my power went out. Okay, and I was like, you know what? Maybe it just wasn't meant to be. I'll let them know that I can't stream or whatever, and then I'll just go on tomorrow, being yesterday. Literally the same exact thing happened. We didn't lose power or anything, but it was a lot of like storming, thundering, lightning, and I don't want to have a whole lot of tech going on at once. So I was like, let me not stream today. And today came around, I'm like, I have to stream today. I really do have to stream. So what it is that since my last day at my last job was on Friday, I'm in training for a new job, and our training is like Monday through Friday this week, and it's like from 6 to 10. So I'm like, I want to have every day where I can just stream during the day, so by the time I'm on my work schedule, I can just have like a stream schedule to I come on at a certain time. And I was just trying to get that whole like 7 days out the way, if you know, for like Twitch purposes, so I could just do have all those days out the way, and then have my set schedule time that I would like to stream, which I'm thinking I want it to be like Tuesday, Thursday. I don't know if I want to do 2 or 3 times a week, but I'm thinking that the weekends should just be like special streams, because coming from a job where my weekends were not my own and I never had like a real like 2-day weekend period, I kind of want my weekends back where I just not oversleep, but like if I sleep in and if I get up, I'm just moving from my bed to this chair to play the game or watch something. If I feel like staying in the bed all day, I'll stay in the bed. Like, I don't know, but yeah, but I'm here. I'm glad I made it here. Okay, I miss streaming so much. As y'all can see, I did this little thing up here. I made this. We no longer have our star butterfly because I felt like, and I just, is in one of the videos, the video that I'm putting out on my Britneyverse TV channel. You can do !YouTube to see that, but in the video that I made for that, I made like another introductory video for that channel. But in that video, I was literally just jumping on Twitch and gaming and like following the crowd and all that, and that's something that I did not want to do. So I honestly don't mind that little break I had from Twitch, because I was able to kind of take a step back and be like, oh, I feel like I'm doing this because this person has that up there, or I'm doing this because I've seen this somewhere else. Like, ain't nobody got this, 'cause I made that, and I learn through my other page for content creation tips and tricks and all that. Like, I've learned that I can make a lot of stuff myself. I can do a lot of stuff myself, and I don't have to go to these like certain resources and all that for for me to have something or pay for these things when I can learn how to make it myself. So that's not the video that I did. I just did like an introductory video for that channel, another one. But sometime down the line, I will do like some some tips on like how to make certain things when it comes to your own Twitch streams and overlays and all that stuff. I'm just like very in the mindset of not wanting to do what everybody else is doing, like at all. Like I literally want to come up here and do my own thing. Hence it being the Britney verse, okay? Not meant to be anybody else but me, and I love me, okay? I want you guys to love you guys, and I want all of us to just come in here as a collective to, embrace all that. Yeah, so my video goes out actually, did I have it for 6 or 6:30? Sometime this evening, 6 or 6:30 EST, and it's really an introductory video, but it's really everything that I want when it comes to streaming and having these pages that connect to my stream, because I'm really trying to I'm a person who stands out, not trying to fit in with anybody, any certain group or anything like that. So that is something that's very important to me, and I want that to come across to you guys as well. So if you want to watch that, definitely go ahead and do so. But I'll have a lot of stuff coming up in the eventually, so you guys can kind of get more engaged and I can kind of get more used to creating that type of content. What else? I also, in that video, it's just because I was just editing it this morning. Like, I feel like I filmed it, I think it said like July 17th is when I filmed it, and I just never got around to editing because everything was going on. I was, still working my other job, having to actually physically go in and work, and then while also getting stuff set up for this new job, putting in a 2 weeks notice, just everything was just going on all at once, and also still trying to get like content stuff out. So yeah, I just said, I'm gonna restart this, and I'm gonna go in it how I want to go in it, and not how I've seen other people go into it or whatever. So that's all that is. As you can see, like I said, I was tired of sitting in that chair right there, so we are in my more comfortable chair with a blanket, and I have a fan on. I meant to light this candle and I forgot, but yeah. I also said in that video though that I do want to do community nights. I think that'll be something fun. Like, I feel like the first community night I want to do in the Discord be like a movie night, and I feel like what kind of grammar was that? What better movie to start our little movie nights off with than Coraline, Like, I can watch Coraline forever because there's a whole lot of, like, theories and stuff going on, like she never made it out or stuff like that, and I'm just like, we can watch that as a group, comment, chat, all that. So I'm thinking about doing that real soon. Like, maybe Saturdays can be our, like, community nights, maybe, and we either watch a movie or we can play a game or something. It can be up to you guys because I really don't mind. But yeah, today I didn't want to do too much because I'm kind of like in a chill mood, and especially coming off the last couple days and Friday being my last day. I remember coming up here and I said I just got a new job. I start my new job soon. Y'all remember that? If y'all are here, yeah, that job has came to an end. I have had a better opportunity come my way, and I'm taking it. So, like I said, I'm training for that this week, and a week after I'll be in like a new schedule. It is a work from home position, so I'll be sitting right here for work, and then streaming with y'all after work, depending on when I decide to do my schedule. But yeah, that's what's been happening. Just a lot of everything, and yeah, a lot of everything all at once. Y'all like my case? My boy Bruce. Okay. I just wanted to get the chat up here just in case. Alright, so yeah. So the plans for the day are literally just chilling. I'm thinking about watching like some horror shorts or something. But I'm back to that movie night though. Like y'all trying to have a movie night this Saturday when we watch Coraline? I'm gonna ask y'all in Discord because I don't think nobody's here right now. But and I'm just rambling, which I do. So, but yeah, I'm really thinking about movie night. Like really thinking about movie night. Movie nights on Saturdays on Discord. I'm gonna have to ask y'all in the Discord. So I would love to do that. Find my little movie sites and we watch a movie on Discord. I also was like, we could play games too, but like I have to figure out how to do that because I don't think I know how to do that. Like sharing it through Discord and like talking with y'all and playing through Discord, I don't know how to do that. But I gotta figure it out. But I do know that I can share a screen. Okay, so we can watch a movie. I'm really thinking about that. Saturday, what is Saturday's date? Saturday's date? I need to post it about it. Saturday the 10th, y'all trying to have a movie day? I mean, community night? Watching Coraline? I think I'm gonna make that happen. But yeah, let me stop yapping. Like I said, I didn't really want to do too much today. I doubt I'll play a game, but we can watch some YouTube videos. And y'all know when I say YouTube videos, that we're watching some horror shorts or like an unsolved mystery case. So let me go ahead and get YouTube up because that's what we doing. Okay, YouTube. I also was thinking, like, I don't know about y'all, but like I feel like I like watching people cook because I like to cook, and like especially from watching The Bear, coming off of all that, and I'm like wanting to find some type of cooking show to watch. I don't know if I want to watch Hell's Kitchen, but like I don't know. Should we try to watch like Master Chef or like Master Chef Junior? Watch some kids cook or something. Like, I don't know what I want to do, but I feel like I want to watch something like that sometimes. Alright, so I'm in my YouTube. Trying to figure out what I want to watch. We have this Red Tower one. It says Abandoned, a suspenseful short film, Supernatural by Red Tower. Never heard of them before. Thieves in the temple tonight. I also did download some more horror games on my computer. I think I have like 5 horror games. I cannot tell you the names of them, but we can get into those. And like I said, I'm trying to stream this whole entire week, so I wanted to stream Friday to Friday, but it looks like it's going to be a Sunday to Friday, and then Saturday be the community night or something. But yeah. Love come quick, love come in a hurry. Mama Agnes. Alright, let me just put it up here because y'all need to see this too. These thumbnails look crazy. In the temple tonight. I'm singing all here. Even if I wanted to, I couldn't really truly, cause my phone with you. Alright, so I'm trying to figure out my mic situation since I'm kind of far away. Let's stand up. What the heck? My heart. Tell me, tell me, tell me, tell me. Me and you could have been a work of art. Maybe don't you know I'm holding on. That's that I can't love you. Better than the thieves in the temple. Y'all don't know nothing about Thieves in the Temple by Prince. I bet y'all don't. I feel like that and like Controversy are like my favorite Prince songs. And I feel like Thieves in the Temple, you really have to know that if you like watch the movies, watch Prince's movies. Because that one comes from Graffiti Bridge. And it just hit so hard. Alright, so let me pull my YouTube up real quick. Thieves in the Temple. Alright, let me turn this music off because I'm gonna keep singing. Alright. So, we have here alright, so we have here some YouTube videos, right? Like, I started up here. And this is just my channel. I don't know what y'all can see or what y'all can't see. Hold on. Love gone quick. Love gone in a hurry. This is also the YouTube channel where I'm posting my video today. So I can go in here and show y'all real quick. Okay. Alright, so let's just go to my channel really quickly. You guys can see. This is my channel. This is the video that I did, but I did like this one before, but I really did not know what I was doing. And I used to post my VODs here. I've since unlisted all of them and I made a VOD channel, Brittany vs. TV VODs. But this is the video going out. It's just another introductory type of thing. Yeah, subscribe there if you want, but yeah, let's get back to what we're going to be watching. So let's see. That's me. It's my other page, my content page. I don't know. I did see something. I think it refreshed though. It was like abandoned. Dancer is fed to the homeless. Man, I can't find what I was looking for now. Unseen, a girl in a wall. That's almost like what? It was something. It was like they were living in the wall. I don't remember. But I remember at the same time, you know? Yeah, it refreshed. It was something called Abandoned. It was by Red Tower though. Let me go find it. It was like 20 something minutes. It looked interesting enough. Just on, you know, thumbnail alone, but we gotta see. Spooktacular. It was like a year. It was this. Abandoned. You know? Should we try it or not? I say you try it. Cause why not? Why not? Let's get into it.
As I'm in the midst of applying for
Thieves in the temple. Can y'all see? Let me see if y'all can see. Y'all can see. Let me move it this way a little bit. Let me get my head out the way. Let's bring this. This is fine, alright?
No way.
Sorry. Y'all hear my dog barking? It's just because of my speaker just bumped.
Hey.
You'll never believe what I'm looking at right now.
What's that?
The house.
What house?
House! The house from the painting.
House from the painting.
The house? The house from the painting?
I know it looks familiar. I pass by it every single day. Hello? Yeah, okay. I'll come get you after work.
Is this what is abandoned? The house? Abandoned. Let's make it full screen. Make sure it looks okay. Thieves in a temple. Okay, it looks fine on my end.
How's work?
I totally expected that woman to look out the window at me.
Yeah, now that would be creepy.
Yeah. I didn't get out of the car.
Can y'all hear it?
Damn. I think you're right.
I know.
Okay, y'all can hear it.
I think that's the house.
I know, I thought so too. It looked familiar, but it never really clicked until I saw that painting.
Pull into the driveway.
You think I should?
Y'all doing too much.
Yeah.
There's no way I would do that. No way. See a house from a painting and then want to go pull into the drive? No. Then it's abandoned on top of that. Like, what abandoned house y'all know that got a, painting that you just so happen to have that you can drive by that? Like, no. That does not sound good. This would be the perfect time for a boom arm.
Looks empty.
It looks abandoned.
I don't think anybody lives here. I really want to look inside.
We're not gonna break in.
Y'all might get took. Y'all ain't think
Where?
about that?
I am gonna try to look inside.
What if someone does live here?
Hey, well, you know what?
Y'all in the driveway,
have
in the
a
yard at
perfect
this
reason to
point,
be.
they could be watching.
That painting probably
Make it
belongs
make
to them.
sense.
We just want to return it.
Why? Nothing's hitting my mouse, bro.
Isaac!
That's where you mess up. That's where you mess up, and that's what we gonna do. I'm still stuck on the fact that y'all had a picture of this house in a painting, and then y'all just happened to drive by the house.
The one thing Kamala Harris has always...
these like campaign ads.
Remember, just here to return the painting.
Hey Prince, I need you to hush. Prince. Prince. Downside of having dogs. Everybody. Are you done, Prince? You finished? Okay.
Hi.
Hello.
Are you the property owners?
Excuse me?
Are you the property owners?
Oh, no. We're not.
Oh. Do you know the owners?
No.
No. We were just, looking at the house.
Okay. Well, are you interested in the property?
Kind of.
Well, in that case, let me introduce myself. I'm Lynn Dixon. Here's my card.
River City Realty.
Oh,
She's a realtor.
you're a realtor.
Correct. And you are?
That's something that's so funny to me because
I-
it's realtor. Realtor.
Or Kate, whichever.
Realtor.
So,
Realtor. Where's that
what's
extra
for
A
sale?
come from?
You know, it's
realtor.
the strangest thing, really. You say you don't know the owners?
That's what they
Right.
said. They just standing on the property.
Don't.
How she not know the owners?
But it's
in
for sale?
Like I said, it's the strangest thing. Yesterday, I get a call from someone who doesn't give me their name, and they say they want to list this property for sale. So I looked the address
Hey.
up and
I'm so sorry. If y'all seen Abbott Elementary, she reminds me of Jacob's boyfriend. Ex-boyfriend. I don't know, her personality, the way she talks, it just reminds me of
the
him.
system.
His name is
This
Zach.
property's
I
been
don't know what his
available
real
for
name
almost
is though.
15 years.
But on the show his name was Zach.
It's been for sale for 15 years?
It's been for sale
As far as
15
I
years.
can tell, nobody's actively trying to sell it.
And then y'all don't know the owners?
How did you find out about it, if I may ask?
Oh, oh, this is even stranger. Well, at least as strange as, we found, I found, let me just show you. It's in the car.
But still, if someone was living in a house, y'all standing on the property having a conversation, cars parked all in the driveway.
Wow. That sure looks like this house.
Right? Exactly.
Where did you get this?
So the other day, I was at the flea market, you know, the one on 28th Street. I go every weekend. I love that place.
He's obsessed with that place.
I like
I need y'all to
finding
get to the
cool
point.
stuff.
Treasures, he calls them.
No, I get it. I totally understand.
Right. So, anyway, this painting was there, and I just found it fascinating. I don't know why. I think it's because of the woman in the window or something.
But y'all, have y'all checked to
Just
see if
said
the
that.
window was a window? If the
That's
woman was in the
kinda
window?
creepy, isn't it?
Yes, definitely. But there is something about it. I don't know, I kind of like it too.
Can y'all get to the point?
Yeah. And then Kate thought it looked familiar.
I'm
that
not even
the
halfway
house
through.
looked familiar. And then she realized today that she drives past this place every day on her way to work. So, anyway, we came here to check it out, you know, just out of curiosity. And that's when you showed up.
Fate. Maybe it's fate. Or just an incredible coincidence.
So, are you supposed to meet the owners here? Or?
I don't know. She didn't say over the phone.
It was a woman on the phone?
It was. I have to say, my interest is completely piqued. I've never been more curious about a property before.
No kidding.
Yeah, y'all just
Do you want to
standing.
see inside?
So she got keys
Yes.
to the place
Yes,
that's
we
been
do.
trying to get sold 15 years.
Love and Hip Hop Atlanta is dropping its first.
This is weird. This is very weird.
She did say I could let myself in to take a look at the place. I'm sure she wouldn't mind me showing it as well. She said I could find a key right here.
You tell them that? Like you just think or you say your thoughts?
Hello?
I bet it stink. Look at all
Pretty
that
sure
trash.
there's no one here.
Somebody turn a light on or something.
Oof. Smell that? Smells musty.
Mm-hmm. Yet you close the door.
There hasn't been anyone in here in quite a while, I think.
I feel like this section might have to get muted out when I post it on the VOD channel. Something tells me I'm gonna get a copyright claim. They bold. There ain't no way I would do this. Very bold. There's no way. Tall window. Should y'all get?
Did it happen in here too?
Yeah.
Oh boy.
But y'all acting so calm. I would have been gone.
Power surgery.
I would have been gone. So gone.
Hey, did you guys?
Mm-mm. No sir, my boy. No sir. What kind of bathroom setup? Why is the door right near the toilet? It's one of the video game houses. Mm-mm. But you not trying to run down them stairs real quick. You trying to investigate still. No. You don't see that?
You're the one that's
Where'd she
in the
come
van.
from?
Who are you?
Isaac. My name is Isaac.
You got some piccolos on?
Oh, we met, Lynn?
How did you get in here?
Lynn, the realtor.
No!
I'm sorry.
You still up there trying to conversate.
To come in.
No! I mean, how did you...
You can't leave? Is that what it is?
Somebody told Lynn where the key was.
You can't leave the house?
They said we could let ourselves in.
Did something happen?
Seriously? We used a key. We just came in through the back door. Look, I'm sorry.
Did something happen? Did you hear something? See something? Lights.
Yeah. A couple minutes ago, the lights flashed. Looked like a power surge or something.
That's when it happened. Y'all took. They took now. They don't even know it.
Isaac?
You took.
What?
You took.
Where were you?
He was at the window
When?
When the power surge happened.
in the window. Now it's gonna be the
I
man
was
in the
in
window. What is going on, bro? Going down the stairs.
This room?
Yeah. Look, my wife and Lynn, the realtor, are downstairs.
They don't hear him
You can
talking to
ask
nobody.
them if you want. Did you call Lynn by any chance?
Where in this room?
By the window.
What?
Just answer a question.
Specifically, Isaac, where in this room were you?
I was
By the
walking.
window.
Tell me where. Point.
By the window.
Y'all, I'm this close to skipping it, but
Isaac?
we're already over halfway through, so we might as well watch it.
Isaac, I'm sorry.
You trapped.
Sorry for what?
You're
The
stuck.
house only needs one.
She was set free. Now y'all stuck. She was set free. Now y'all was the ones stuck. Or maybe you. Maybe you got lost. And your wife and the realtor was like, maybe he left already, and then they left and you can't get out. That's how you know I watch a lot of like creepy, scary, supernatural stuff, because we can make a plot real quick. What sound? And now they're gonna draw the house. There's gonna be a man in the window, and the cycle repeats itself. That's why the house ain't been sold in 50. What in the Little Nightmares? She's still in the house. He gone. He not gonna be able to be seen.
Oh, hi. I'm so sorry. We didn't know there was anyone here. Did you see my husband up there? Hey, excuse me. I'm really sorry if we're intruding, but did you see my husband upstairs? Hey. You okay?
She left you okay?
Who's letting you go?
I'm so sorry.
Wait!
He gone too. He's in the void, bro.
Kate? Kate?
Yep, he in the void, but that's where he was. What's been happening for like 15 years? That is so crazy.
Caitlin! What's wrong? I can't find him.
Slow down. He didn't leave. He's here.
Yeah, he's there. He's in the void.
Well, we'll be on the lookout for this woman. We've got your number and we'll call you as soon as we have anything. Let's get a look here.
He's fine. I'm sure he's fine.
Yeah.
You said you saw a woman in a white dress in this painting.
Yes,
It's
and
not there, it's a man.
she ran past me and she said, "I'm sorry," and then he's letting me go or something like that, and then she ran out and she went that way down the road.
In a white dress.
Yes.
It's not what it looks like to me. And that's certainly not a white dress.
It's him. Chris Randall. I like it, but I feel like it could have been way better. Shout out to all y'all. Amy, Chris, Julian, all y'all. Shout out to y'all. But I feel like it could have been, I don't know. I feel like the acting. The heck is that? But I mean, it was still good nonetheless. I watched the whole 23 minutes, you know. Well, not the whole 23. We got some credits, but, you know, like, not mad at it, but, like, it could have been a little bit better. Alright, so now, Pringle Horror Stories. Should we watch another one? They did In the Dark. Let's watch this other one by Red Tower.
Here's how I slash the time I spend writing emails in half.
No. This one's called In the Dark. We're in the room with Dr. Blue. Anybody else watch A Million Little Things? Whoa. That's how we started? Okay. That's cool. Whoa. Murder-suicide, huh? same chair goes for sale, huh?
I know it is. Here, I'll send it. One sec. Did you get it?
And you just sent it. Give it some time.
It doesn't want to send. That's okay. It's not that cute. It's cute. It is cute. Is it $15.99 cute though? Exactly. Yeah, I don't think this one's it.
You don't think it's one's it? Next scene, putting it in the trunk.
Congratulate him if you guys see him in the team's meeting later today. That reminds me,
Nope. Don't buy creepy chairs from my thrift shop. I wouldn't buy any type of like thrift furniture that look like that.
Sorry, I'll pull it up.
Now I want you guys to focus especially on weeks 6 to 8 because it will be a full court press. You know,
Don't be looking at me while I walk past. Messing up my blanket. Boy said this blanket ain't mine. Let me stop talking. She don't find it weird that the sound she hearing is a chair movement. And they gonna act like nothing happened when the blanket messed up. Y'all hear whispering?
What's your emergency?
A man broke into my house. I think he's going to hurt me. Can you please send someone?
Okay, just stay on the call. We're getting you the
What
help
you
right
need
now.
to grab first is a weapon.
Can you tell me what the man looks like?
Nope.
I don't know. He's sitting on a chair at the end of the hall. It's really dark.
Okay, where are you now?
My bedroom. I'm in the master bedroom at the back of the house.
Okay, help is on the way, ma'am. Just stay on the line with me. Do you know where the man is right now?
At the door.
You know where the man is in the house?
Right outside my bedroom.
Still no weapons being grabbed.
Ma'am, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
You should be hearing sirens any time now. Help is on the way.
I hear him. I do. Thank you.
Nobody ever once said where the location
We did a
was.
full sweep of the property. No signs of an intruder, nor any sign of forced entry.
That's it? I know he was in here.
Unfortunately, the best thing we can do is for you to file a report and us put surveillance outside the house. Good thing is, based on your reports, it doesn't seem like the guy was intending any harm. Nothing was stolen. Listen, we've had a lot of homeless in this area.
And then something gonna happen again. You're not out of the woods. Girl, it's still in the house. I don't want me to squat diddly. It's still technically in the house.
You sure you can't leave early? I kind of don't want to be alone after last night. Please? For me? No. I get it. It's fine. Yeah. It'll be okay.
What was his name? Isaac?
Mm-hmm.
Same characters?
It's fine. Yeah. No. I get it. It's fine. Yeah.
I thought they said his name.
It'll be okay. Mm-hmm. You're still gonna stop by and say hi when you get back there, right? Okay. I will, yeah. Okay. Bye.
Talk about grab a weapon. But you can't be stupid with the weapon either.
I'm Millie, a content creator, coach, and business owner.
Hey,
if I had to
I'm
start my
Millie.
business from zero.
I was on one of her lives with Jade Beatson. It almost felt like so long ago. It does not feel like I've been on for about an hour. The chair popped up at the door. That chair said, "You thought you was gonna throw me in the garage and think it was done? You thought you were good, my guy?" Just when you just leave out of that window. Ooh.
Get out of my house!
You take a sheet, pillowcase, whatever cloth you got, wrap that boy around your hand, bust that window open, and don't stop running. I've seen way too many movies, TV shows, these. It's ridiculous. What you gonna do, shank up your door until you think he gone?
The police are on their way!
still trying to fight with it. Like, I'm just gone. You can have all of that. Now, what you gonna do with that knife if you holding a chair? People don't be thinking.
Help me.
No. And I know I'm supposed to be by myself. And they sound too calm. Absolutely not.
Quick. Get in.
I'm gonna get help.
Is it her?
Hello? Is anyone there? Hello?
I'm not looking at. Is that valid? Well, she ain't gonna be in the dark too. I feel like there could have been so much more. We gotta watch something else. Was he that baby? He did. No. Need a break from the Red Tower. I kind of want to watch Mr. Nightmare. Night Drive. 3 terrifying true night drive horror stories. Should we? Should we not? Look at that. Hour and 4 minutes. Five cases that were solved decades later. Let's do like one animated one. Animated horror stories. 5 true unnerving horror stories animated. Ooh, split. Ugh. Whoa. Wrong turn. Look at that. That is nasty. Ugh. I remember we watched that one. I wanted to watch some animated ones. Ugh. There's a I did see Mama Agnes. The first one. So we try to watch that. These thumbnails are. Is that Mystique? Them thumbnails is crazy. I see Mama Agnes, and I saw Mama Agnes Part 2, so that has to make.
So first,
just, you know, you see a part 2 to something, you gotta go watch the first part real quick. They're short. This is Mama Agnes. Auntie Mabel. Okay. He says, "Don't call my phone, bro." Oh, it's expected to rain soon. Something in this house smells rotten. Mom?
Hey, sweetie. You're home early. I thought you weren't supposed to be back till next week.
She never left. What do you mean? Standing over there like that. Oh.
Is everything okay?
No. It's not.
Yes.
everything is fine.
Don't you look. She said, "You gonna answer that?"
Hey, sweetie. How's it going? Sorry I missed your call. You look like you've seen a ghost, girl. What's going on?
I don't even know. Woo. Too close.
Baby, what's going on, sweetie? What's going on with you? Sweetie?
No, we need to watch part 2. What the heck? I just realized I did not have it full screen. I'm sorry.
Are you okay? What are you doing? What?
Why she look at her like that before?
Are you okay?
That was weird.
Shh. Oh, what?
It's upstairs.
What?
Promise you won't get mad.
Promise.
It's upstairs in the closet pretending to be you.
Pretending to be me? Who's upstairs?
Your doppelganger.
Why is it so close?
You promised.
Okay, but you have to give me more to work with. I don't even know what a doppelganger is.
It's a demon or entity pretending to be other people.
Okay. Everything is gonna be okay. Fine.
You see?
So this doppelganger's in our home?
Yes, it's upstairs in the closet.
Okay.
Where are you going?
To go get this person out of our house.
No, Mama, it's dangerous.
There's nothing more dangerous than your mama. Okay? You just wait right here.
And then I'm still like, was her ankles bound too? Like, she was just sitting there chilling.
Mama?
Yes, sweetie?
Are you looking?
I'm looking. Just stay down there. Give me a
Does she
moment.
know what's happening?
Okay.
And that picture messed me up.
Gosh, don't be silly.
Girl, you might as well just go ahead and leave the house. Hold up, that face. Whoa. Yeah, go ahead and just walk on out. It's gonna be like on us.
Did you see her? Of course, sweetie.
What did you do?
I got rid of her.
You sure?
You don't trust me.
Of course.
I love you.
I love you too.
And you haven't taken these in a while.
Wait. Let me read it. 9 months have passed since Mama Agnes and her daughter Brandy were reported missing. The neighbors had complained of a foul odor from their home, and authorities investigated. They found no signs of death or any trace of missing people. The last known sighting of Mama Agnes was in recent months. The park has become a hotspot for ghost hunters and YouTube journalists. This ain't real, was it?
Alex, make sure you get the forest so everyone can see it.
It's like some paranormal activity, right?
Make sure you get every voice.
Right.
Don't be scared. I think I see something in the tunnel. Zoom in. Hello? Is anyone in there?
Is it her tied up? No.
What's the matter?
No, a blessing glass in base. Why you sound like that though? Bruh. Can you come in the darkness and help me? I'm a lady and I can't see. Listen to yourself. Ain't nobody coming to help you.
Not even a little bit.
Okay, I'm coming in with my camera crew.
But why?
I'm so thankful. It's just a woman. We have to help her. Come on.
Yo, ain't no.
Cut the cameras.
Cut the cameras.
I mean, you look okay. You don't look like you have a sprained ankle.
So?
Just take it out for a second.
guys, if you're looking for a school that is 100% online.
Hush. What? So many questions and not enough answers. Like, what? Okay. Alexander the Titan. Okay. Whew. Whew. Alright, let me see. Not Berlizzi. Well, it's been not a minute, but like his recent stuff, like he went away for a little bit, and then I haven't like seen anything recently. What's I about to look up? Come on, what's I about to look up? I hate when that does that. Merc Docs, there we go. Cause this was a channel that I used to watch like frequently, like binge watch. 2 decades old cold cases solved in 2013. Like I literally used to just play a random one of their, like go to their channel, put on a random video, and then just watch it. 3 cases that were solved in 2024.
Carol Ann Barrett was an 18-year-old girl living with her parents and her siblings in Zanesville, Ohio. Carol, a senior at Zanesville High School, had an adventurous spirit that inspired her and her friends to travel south to Daytona Beach, Florida for a spring break. Carol had worked at the Wendy's old-fashioned hamburgers in Zanesville to save up money for the trip. In March 1980, Carol and her friends were staying at the Daytona Beach Hotel. Carol and the other female friends were staying on the 6th floor of the hotel, while the 3 male friends were staying on the 5th floor. But on the night of March 23rd, 1980, all of the friends were in the girls' room partying. At around 2 a.m., Carol and a friend named Scott Grubb decided to head to a nearby store. But as they were making their way towards the elevator, a man carrying a gun confronted them and asked them to take him into their room. Steve, concerned about the man's intentions, told him they could not get back in because they did not have the key. The man ignored this and pushed Steve towards the door. Frightened, Steve and Carol knocked until one of the friends let them in. The man then told the 8 friends to get naked, then robbed them and threatened that if they tried anything, he would kill one of them. The man then said he was going to take one of them to make sure they wouldn't call the police after he left. He picked Carol's friend Pam to take with him. When Pam started to panic, he became agitated and Carol volunteered to go instead. Carol was known for being level-headed and calm under pressure, and she did not offer any resistance when the intruder told her that she was now his hostage. The man told them that he would release Carol within an hour. He made everyone else get into the balcony and locked them out before taking Carol out of the room. One of the boys eventually managed to reach a neighboring balcony and asked the occupants to call the police. Carol's friends provided the police with detailed description of the abductor. They described him being between 20 and 25 years old, about 5 feet 10 inches tall, and about 160 pounds in weight. He was wearing a brown suede jacket, tan pants, brown suede shoes, gold wire-rimmed glasses with brown tinted glasses, and a mole on his left cheek. A composite sketch of the suspect was released in the media, but no leads were found. The following day, Carol's body was discovered by a passerby in a ditch line along Interstate 95 near Pecan Park Road in Jacksonville. Carol had been dragged from the roadway and discarded into the ditch sometime after midnight. She had been executed with a small caliber handgun, and there was no sign of a struggle. She was discovered nude from the waist up with a white sweater pulled over her head. She was wearing a gold necklace and earrings. Her body was positively identified by her friends. Carol's friends and family were devastated by the news.
Mm.
For a long time, the family received prank calls, calling the family and saying, "You're next," and then hanging up. Without any leads or suspects, the case would eventually go cold. In August of 2017, Carol's case was revisited and ultimately reopened by the members of the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office Cold Case Unit after reviewing all available evidence. In 2020, a convicted serial killer was identified as a suspect in Carol's murder. 65-year-old Billy Mansfield Jr. was named as a suspect. He would have been 24 at the time of Barrett's murder. Through multiple interviews spanning 2 years, police say that in 2022, Mansfield admitted to being the suspect in the police sketch done after the abduction and eventually confessed to the crime itself. Despite the confession, authorities decided against pursuing prosecution against Mansfield, who is already serving a life sentence in California for murder, as well as 4 concurrent life sentences in
Sheesh.
Florida. Prison
Why would
records
you not
show
pursue him?
Mansfield committed his first murder in 1973. His last murder was in April 1980, 1 month after Barrett's murder. He was convicted of murdering 5 women in California and Florida. He was sentenced to life in prison in 1982. During the initial investigation, cops found that he had buried 4 bodies in the backyard of his Florida home before traveling to California, killing the 5th victim and being arrested. Billy Mansfield continues to cooperate with detectives in other jurisdictions regarding additional cold cases.
The one thing Kamala Harris has always been.
I swear. I do not like looking at those.
On July 16, 1991, remains of a woman were found near downtown Ventura, about 70 miles northwest of Los Angeles. The woman was later identified as 42-year-old Danielle Kloss. Danielle had been found partially clothed and had been sexually assaulted. She was ultimately bludgeoned to death with a rock. A rock covered with blood was found near her body and was believed to be the murder weapon. Danielle was last seen on the previous night, on the night of July 15, 1991. She was speaking to a man driving a small white pickup truck with pinstripes. She was reported missing by her husband the next day after she failed to return that night. Police collected evidence found at the crime scene, which included fingerprints, cigarette butts, trash, papers, rocks, and anything else that looked disturbed. Police also canvassed the area looking for a white truck that matched the suspect's vehicle description. In interviews at the time with friends and family, Danielle was remembered as a sensitive artist who had struggled with drug addiction and was helping others with addiction issues at an adult school in town. Despite evidence found at the crime scene, no leads were found, and the case would eventually grow cold. Danielle's 1,000-page case file and DNA evidence from sexual assault kit and the rock found at the crime scene sat dormant at a Ventura police station for 25 years. Over the years, the DNA sample from the case was entered into CODIS. However, no matches were found. In 2021, the new investigator on the case learned that the murder weapon, a rock, and fingernail clippings from Danielle had been preserved but had not been tested ever. He then requested that the evidence be tested to compare DNA on the rock and the fingernail clippings to the DNA from the sexual assault kit. The officer said, "This test would either confirm or deny that our murder suspect and the rape suspect were one and the same." By September 2021, all the DNA came back as a match to one unknown suspect. This led to the next step of testing the evidence using the new technology of forensic genetic genealogy. Using genetic
I feel like
genealogy,
I've seen
forensic
this one.
specialists were able to develop a family tree of the suspect. They were able to find a living family member of the suspect who had an interest in familial genealogy. She had already built a family tree herself. Investigators went to connect with her in San Diego, where she gave them a breakdown of her family tree and a DNA sample. Through her DNA sample analysis, they were able to learn that she was the first cousin match, eventually leading them to two brothers who were possibly matches for their suspect. A sample given by one of the brothers eliminated him, which positively identified the other brother, Larry Devin Welch, as the killer. It was found that Welch owned a white Ford Ranger, had a PO box in Ventura the year Danielle died. He was also seen with her around the time and was seen by another witness in the area where her body was found. There was no known connection between Welch and Danielle. However, Welch will not face justice as he died in 1999. Danielle's family is grateful that they finally have some closure after 33 long years of not knowing what happened to Danielle.
It's good you get to find out
Danielle's
what
sister
happened.
Marcy Forte said, "My sister was so much more than a victim of a brutal murder. She was an artist, a daughter, a sister, a mother, and
Yeah,
a
I've seen
wife.
this one before.
She was a good person with a mighty soul, and she was taken way too young. I didn't really believe that the police were going to solve this because there are other crimes being committed all the time. I am so grateful that I lived to see at least a meter of justice and that they found out who did this."
Josh Stein, the attorney general.
That's one thing we will never, ever, 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 for never, ever talk about here. Politics. Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
On February 7th, 1977, around 11:21 p.m., a woman contacted the Colorado Springs Police Department to report a possible murder in the 5400 block of North Nevada Avenue, Colorado Springs. When the police arrived, they discovered 14-year-old Maria Lorraine Honzel had been stabbed to death. Maria had been babysitting for a female neighbor in the same apartment complex. The neighbor came home around 11:20 p.m. and found Maria deceased in the master bedroom. The neighbor's children, aged 6 and 8, were present during the attack but were unharmed. They were asleep in the bed when the neighbor returned and found Maria. An autopsy revealed Maria had been stabbed multiple times in the chest and one prominent stab wound on the neck area. Her death was ruled a homicide, but a motive could not be determined. The Colorado Springs Police Department conducted a thorough investigation, which included numerous interviews, reports, and a collection of evidence. At the time, a suspect had not been identified. However, CSPD did not cease to follow leads and pursue other investigative strategies. As DNA technology advanced, several pieces of evidence were sent to the Colorado Bureau of Investigation for further analysis. A male DNA profile was identified from a blood stain on Maria Honzel's clothing, but no matches were found despite testing samples from various potential suspects and entering the DNA profile in the combined DNA index system. The case would soon grow cold. In 2019, the male DNA profile was compared with the samples in public genetic genealogy database with assistance from Parabon Nanolabs in the hopes of identifying a biological relative of the unknown suspect. Through extensive research, a person of interest was identified as William Charles Kernan Jr., who also went by Bill Kernan. Kernan died in 2010. Police were unable to collect his DNA since he had been cremated and had no living relatives. Kernan was identified as a student at a local college and an acquaintance of the woman that Maria Hansel had been babysitting for on the night of her murder. The investigation revealed Kernan had been to the apartment complex on prior occasions. However, after a review of the case by the 4th Judicial DA's office, including the genetic genealogy research, the DA's office said it is confident that Kernan is the person responsible for Maria's murder. The case was closed after 47 years.
Whew, it's a long time. Alright, so I want to try to find... Should we watch something else? I want to try to find like the animated one, but I can't. Do this ice cream truck one. It's like, what the? I look kind of crazy. Top 10 worst X Factor auditions. "15-year-old billionaire gets bullied." I would not care if I got bullied, cause who's the millionaire? Excuse me, billionaire. Who's the billionaire? And you trying to bully me for what? Cause I'm a billionaire? Maybe let's watch these ice cream truck horror stories. Let's watch this one.
I drove an ice cream truck for a couple of years. I am the kind of person who never stopped at one place or at one job. I kind of did everything I could to earn money to travel the world.
I want to travel.
After a part-time job at a local restaurant, I was getting bored in the small town. I was planning to go out and get on the roads. I had this one friend from school who told me she has got a permanent job as a chef in California. I remember she had an ice cream truck, so without wasting any more time, I asked her if I could rent that from her to make some money. I won't lie. She not only gave me the truck forever, but didn't even take a single penny from me. So, with an entrepreneurial attitude, I started my mini business. I had no idea that I always had a knack for the food business. I started to travel in that truck and sell ice cream for a living in the entire Oklahoma area. I renovated the truck with my hard-earned savings and started a new chapter in my life. I generally stopped near playgrounds and schools in the evenings. The fun part of the job was to see kids chattering around me with excitement and laughter. After a month, I became familiar with the kids. I remember every little face to whom I sold ice cream. It was a warm summer afternoon, also a holiday. Expecting the children to come early to the park, I started driving the truck to the location. When I reached the park, I saw children have started to arrive. I pulled the truck under a tree near the sidewalks and rang the bell attached to the truck. They all gathered around the truck and started asking for their favorites while raising $1 with their tiny hands. It was like feeding 1,000 tadpoles in a small pond. I was busy distributing the ice cream when my eyes went to a little boy sitting at some distance. He was sitting on a green bench while keeping his head down. It seemed really odd that amidst all these active kids, the boy was on his own like this. Almost every kid in the park took ice cream from me, but that boy didn't even turn around once towards the truck. I thought, maybe he has no money. So I decided to give that kid a chocolate cone for free. I turned around and prepared the cone for him, but when I looked back, he was gone. The empty bench lied there. I got a bit sad and started to clean the truck before moving on to another spot. I was cleaning the floor of the truck when I heard a small knock on the order desk. I turned around and saw that it was that little boy who was sitting on that bench a few minutes back. He was standing near the truck but his head was still down. Sun was about to set, so the area under the tree got a bit darker than usual. I couldn't see his face at all. I asked in a cheerful voice, "Do you want an ice cream?" Without moving up his head, he raised his small hands toward me and said,
"A strawberry cone, please."
His fingers were dirty and there were mud under his nails. It seemed like he dug the ground with his small hands just a few moments back. I gave him the strawberry cone, but refused to take the money. But he didn't move away. He just stood there like before, holding the dollar on his muddy hand as it dangled in the air. The kid's body language felt very weird to me. I have never seen such a calm and extremely quiet kid like him till now. I took the money, and the kid took his strawberry cone and turned around to walk away. "Hey, what is your name?" He stopped and without turning around replied,
"Mom told me never to talk to strangers. I have to go home. She's waiting for me."
He then walked away. I got a bit surprised seeing this kid's obedience towards his mother. Such a well-behaved kid, I thought to myself. That night, after coming home, I still couldn't stop thinking about that child's unexpected behavior. I decided to go to the same park tomorrow and talk to that kid more.
Why?
The next day, I went there
I would
again.
never go over
As
there
I went
no
on selling
more.
ice cream, my eyes kept scanning the park for that little boy the entire time. At a point, when I realized he won't come today, I started to pack up for the day. I was putting the ice cream tubs inside the mini fridge when I almost gasped in fear. A small dirty hand was resting on the desk of the truck. It didn't take me a second to realize whose hand was that. "Jeez, you scared me," I said in a relieved voice. The boy stood like before, holding a dirty dollar in his hand while keeping his head down. I said, "Now, we are not strangers anymore. You can tell me your name." He said in the same emotionless voice,
"I'm Mikhail."
"Well, hello, Mikhail. Do you come here alone?" He nodded his head slowly from up to down. I handed him his strawberry ice cream. As I went to take the dollar from his hand, my fingers ran over his index finger, and his dirty nail came off, revealing the red flesh underneath. "Oh God, you are hurt. You need help," I said, seeing this vicious sight. But without saying anything, the boy turned around and started to walk away. It seemed like he didn't even feel the pain when the nail came off. Drops of blood laid on the desk, and I watched the boy walk away as if nothing happened. I couldn't hold my curiosity anymore. As soon as he went behind that tree, I came down and started to follow him.
Why?
The boy was walking towards the left corner of the park that was now in complete darkness. This side was also covered with vines and weeds. I had no intention of scaring the child, so I maintained my distance and watched him secretly. After walking to a big tree at the end of the park, he stopped under it. The small lamp on the other side of the road gave me some light to that corner. The boy crouched down on the road and started digging up the soil with his small hands. He dug without stopping. His nails and fingers cut open with the pressure. Raw flesh and blood came out of his wounds as he went on. But I still couldn't see his face. I was thinking to stop this child from hurting himself like this when the boy placed the ice cream in the pit he just dug up and buried it with soil again. I couldn't watch anymore, so I came out from the bushes screaming. "What are you doing? Are you all right?" For the first time, the boy lifted up his face towards me. On that warm summer evening, I felt a gush of cold wind shivering down my spine. The kid had no eyes. Instead of his eyeballs, dark hollow eye sockets stared at me. A painful expression appeared on his face and he said,
"I want to go home, but no matter how much I dig to come out, I always end up here."
And vanished in the air, right in front of my eyes. I fell to the floor with a huge shock. My mouth opened in shock and my heart stopped in fear.
What?
Sweat appeared on my forehead as I tried to make out what just happened a few seconds earlier. I can't explain how I picked myself up that day and returned home. The next day, when I went to that park, I saw cops near the park and it was sealed like a crime scene. A small crowd gathered on the sidewalk and watched this entire
That's
situation.
crazy. What the
Out of
heck?
confusion, I asked the man standing in the crowd, "What's going on here?" He said in a restless voice, "They have traced a missing kid from last month. It seemed like someone abducted this kid for ransom and later murdered him. An old woman came to jog in the morning when her dog dug up that ground under the tree. That's when she saw a small hand lurking beneath the soil. Look, there he is." I followed the man's eyes and saw the paramedic taking away a corpse of a small child dressed exactly like that little boy. The corpse had no eyes, which supposedly got eaten by maggots. The body has been there for months, so its rotten smell made the air heavy. Everyone covered their nose, and some even walked away to avoid vomiting. It came to know that the boy's babysitter brought him to the park and later abducted him, asking for ransom from his parents. When they threatened her, saying she will never get away with this, the cruel woman strangled the boy and buried his body under that tree. The most shocking part was the kid was alive when she buried him. He fainted with the trauma and pressure on his neck. But when he regained consciousness, he found himself buried under the ground. He tried to come out while digging the soil, but choked to death during that struggle. His nails were all broken as he suffered silently. Now I actually understand what that kid meant when he said, "I want to go home, but no matter how much I dig to come out, I always end up here."
Right.
The poor kid's soul was trapped here for a month, and all he wanted was to go home. I hope this kid is finally resting in peace.
For
And to that
real.
babysitter, may she rot in jail for her entire life.
Exactly, no, cause that's wild. They didn't need to do that.
Skin to me is just getting my
They
acne
did
under
not need to
control,
do
and I
that.
hope you- I've been wa-
That's crazy.
Hey guys, I see many of you commenting on my videos that this channel deserves 1 million subscribers. But I
It
also
has 1
see the
million
percent of
subscribers.
people who watch my videos aren't actually subscribed to the channel. So, if you like the content, want to support
Y'all
my channel,
calling me
and want
out
to see
to
this channel reach
subscribe?
1 million subscribers, or maybe 500,000 subscribers,
Y'all
then
at a
go ahead,
million.
subscribe, and hit the bell icon. It's
Am I
free,
being
and
called
you can
out?
always change your mind later.
Am I being
It
called out
happened
to
when I was
subscribe?
13. I was in the 8th grade at the time.
Should I
I
subscribe?
remember the time well, as a lot of kids had been going missing from our neighborhood. I remember the first child to go missing. His name was Matthew Smith, and he was our neighbor's son.
Not the first
It
and
gave me
last.
a lot of trauma
Whole
going
government.
to school the next day and not seeing one of my classmates. The weird activities had also put our town in fear, as the cops had no idea where the kids were or who was taking them. But amidst the horror of it all, there was a ray of hope that appeared as a shining light for us kids. And that ray of hope was Mr. Williams' ice cream truck. Mr. Williams was a man who regularly sold ice cream to our neighborhood. Every time I came back home from school, his ice cream truck would always be packed with kids. And while
I
I
remember
believed he
getting
was a
ice
good
cream
man,
from the ice cream truck.
most things about Mr. Williams was odd.
I feel like I would either
First
get
of
like the
all, he didn't
SpongeBob
drive a
or the
normal ice cream
Spider-Man
truck,
or
as
like
the
the
vehicle
little
he drove
cup
looked more like an
that
RV
came with like the
than a
wooden
truck,
spoon.
as it
Oh,
was
and
much
now the
bigger than
little
regular
strawberry
ice cream
shortcake
trucks.
thing.
Second, he always had this weird ecstatic look on his face every time he saw children. As I remember the
not
first
weird
time
at
I met him,
all.
and he looked at me with wanting eyes like I was a treat.
Mm-mm.
Finally, last weird thing about Mr. Williams was the distinct taste of his ice cream. It's really hard
What's
to
that
explain,
stuff
but
on it?
you know how vanilla ice cream tastes the same regardless of which store you buy it from?
Yeah.
Well, no other ice cream tasted like the one made by Mr. Williams, as whatever ingredients he used gave his own ice cream its own unique taste. And it was still sweet at the same time.
Mm-mm.
I don't know what was in it, but I always craved the distinct taste of his particular ice cream.
You put
And I knew
drugs in there.
I wasn't alone, as every other
'Cause
kid
what in the
always
world?
wanted it too. Visiting his truck soon became a tradition for me, till a
A
weird occurrence that
tradition.
happened one afternoon. I
You
had just
drugging
come
them
back from
kids.
school, and as usual, I went to get some ice cream at Mr. Williams' truck. It was pretty crowded, as other kids were rushing to get theirs, so I decided to wait
Why
out
he
the
look- he
frenzy
out of
by going to the
anime?
back of the truck. As I stood there waiting,
Like
I
a
began
light
to hear muffled
variant.
noises coming from the back of the truck. I got curious, so I started to walk towards the truck so that I could try to make out what the noises were. I reached the door and I was about to place my ear on the door. I heard a loud guttury scream come from the truck. The scream startled me, so I immediately arched back and fell on the floor. I was confused and scared at the same time as I began to ask myself, why was there a scream coming from the inside of an ice cream truck? At first I thought Mr. Williams was in trouble, but as I began to think more deeply, I realized that the high-pitched scream belonged to a child. Numerous thoughts started running through my head as I sat down there, too scared to move. Eventually, everything became quiet as the screams of the excited kids rushing for ice cream had died down. As I get up to move, that's when the back of the ice cream truck opened up and Mr. Williams walked out. As he saw me sitting down on the floor, he looked at me with concerned eyes and said, "Tracy, isn't it?" I was still scared, so I didn't answer. He then continued with, "What happened to you? Did you fall down?" You look pale, as if you've seen a ghost. I still didn't answer, but I just did
Mr.
the
Williams,
first thing
get out of
that
here,
popped
bro.
into my
You're
mind,
creepy.
and I bolted. I ran all the way to my house, and I locked the door behind me. That night, I went to bed with only one question on my mind. Who was the child who screamed in the back of Mr. Williams'
One of them
truck?
kids.
Throughout the following week, I avoided
Dang.
Mr. Williams' truck, as I was still a bit scared due to the incident. With every passing day, I delved deeper into my thoughts, as I felt my curiosity eating at me. The next day, when I came back from school, I quietly slipped out of the house and I made my way to Mr. Williams' van. As usual, it was really crowded and busy, so amidst all the rowdiness, I found my way to the back of the truck. The doors were closed. I stood there for about 30 minutes with my thoughts, and I
30
eventually
minutes?
gave up. I didn't hear anything, so I turned my back to leave. And that's when Mr. Williams emerged from the back of the truck. He was taking out what seemed to be trash, and as he walked down the streets to where our garbage cans were situated, I noticed the door was slightly left ajar.
Do not get
I
in
knew
there.
I had heard nothing while I was waiting, but something told me to take a peek inside
Don't get in
just
there,
to clear
bro.
all doubts. So I walked forward and I peeked into the van. It was pretty dark inside and I couldn't see anything, so I decided to
nothing,
get
bro.
in and take a better look. So I walked in.
And now you
The
locked
inside
in
of the
there.
van looked like a small room, so I decided to take out my phone and use its torch to look around. At first, I was confused as to what I was seeing, as posters and pictures of little children were plastered all
I
over
see
the
bloody
walls.
handprints.
There were notes all over the place, and everything seemed wrong about the scene. I began to walk forward when I felt something brush my leg. I looked down to see I had passed a slightly large dog cage. I was about to peer in to see if I was brushed by the paw of the dog, and that's when I saw a little human hand pressed against the cage. I was shocked, so I instinctively arched back. I knew I had seen a child's hand, but I had to make sure, so I summoned the courage and I peered in. That's when I saw a young, gagged child stuffed inside the cage. I held myself from screaming and I began to back away. It didn't take long before I bumped into something. I quickly turned around to see
Whoa.
an extra 4 cages. Each of them held more gagged children inside. Before I could scream, the lights came on and I heard Mr. Williams' voice say, "I see you found my children, Tracy." I slowly turned around to see crazy-looking Mr. Williams smiling at me. Now that the room was properly lit, I saw numerous cages with...
Come on, bro. That's crazy. Just, you never know. I don't mess with ice cream trucks nowadays, and if I had kids, they would not be messing with ice cream trucks. But this is like...
injured little children who
What?
were all gagged and whimpering inside them. What is this, Mr. Williams? So it's you who's taking all the kids away.
Do you want
I
to be
blurted
next,
out.
Tracy?
Taking? He asked. No. You see, Tracy, these kids came to me. I didn't take anyone. Liar, I screamed back. It's obvious that you took them. But why? Why would you do such a thing? I asked him in tears. Why would I? He shouted back at me.
That crazy
obviously
look in his eye, bro. He got that crazy look.
Why would life give the beautiful gift of children to everyone but me? I'd be a great
So
father.
you take them?
I've always loved kids, but I can't have them.
Adopt
It hurt
them.
me deeply, but I wasn't going to bitch about it, so I decided to collect them, to take them by force. And as you can see,
Bro, you
I
can't
have
just
amassed
adopt.
quite the collection. He spoke like
I'm
the children
weak. This man
weren't
is
living, breathing
insane.
human beings. He spoke like they were memorabilia, and it was one of the most horrible and horrific things I had ever heard.
Facts. What
When he
the
was
heck?
done speaking, a tense silence filled the van. I tried to move forward, but he blocked my way. I
Yeah, you're
stuttered.
not getting out, bro.
But please let me go. And
You're
that's when he
next.
replied, I'm afraid I can't let you do that. You see, I've had my eye on you for a while now, Tracy. And I think you'd make a great addition to my collection.
Collection is
And
wild.
before I could reply to the morbid statement, he lunged at me. I instinctively threw my phone at him. It hit him in the eye, and he began to scream. With no hesitation, I bolted and I ran all the way home. And I told my mom everything that happened, and she immediately called the cops. When the cops arrived, they couldn't find Mr. Williams. No one could, as he had completely vanished. The incident traumatized me for the rest of my childhood.
I bet.
But with a lot of therapy, I moved on. Although I always jump at the sound of an ice cream truck, as I know Mr. Williams is still out there collecting children and spreading his ice cream.
We still never got to what was on the ice cream that kept y'all coming back.
I loved ice cream as a kid. I mean, what kid doesn't? I lived in a hot state too.
What was he putting in that ice cream to make them come back?
Hearing the ice cream truck jingle
to
after a
eventually
day hard at
collect
play was like seeing an oasis in the desert. My friends and I always made sure to have a tenner in our pockets in case the ice cream truck ever came around. We all recognized the ice cream man by his face with how
The
often
ice cream
we saw
truck,
him, and in
ice cream
return,
truck music
he
though
remembered
always
all our
hit.
names.
Y'all can't even tell me it don't.
We learned his real name and started calling him by it instead of sir. His name was Harry, and he always
Harry.
looked a little worse for wear. He
Dang.
was baldy, middle-aged, and
Almost
almost
like
certainly
stink meaning.
depressed if his unkept, unshaven face was anything to go by. Still, he was nice to all the kids who came by his ice cream truck and made the effort to remember the usual orders of all his regulars. Every time I went up to him, he'd say, "Hey, Joel, another strawberry popsicle today?" I'd either reply, "Yeah, thanks, Harry," or tell him I wanted something else if I wasn't in the mood for it. I imagine he probably did the same with all his regulars, and not just the kids. The adults were all fond of him too. The merciless heat didn't spare them just because they were grown-ups, and most of them saw nothing wrong with indulging in a sweet treat every now and again.
From the ice
It wasn't
cream
uncommon
truck,
to see a couple of grown adults leaning on the parked ice cream truck, making casual conversation with Harry with ice cream cones in their hands. We all already lived in a small town where everyone knew each other, but Harry and his ice cream was a fixture in the community that helped bring everyone together. I think Harry liked having things that way too. Unlike us kids, he was able to get more off his chest talking about his life with other grown-ups. I'd sometimes overhear my own parents chat about how rough Harry's life had been, and what a good man is to still be so kind regardless of the fact. I don't know the full
Something
details,
going on there.
but I'd heard enough about him from bits and pieces of conversations over time to know that he was divorced and that his son was in prison for some sort of violent crime. I tried not to think too much about it though. It wasn't like I could do much to help him anyways. I was just a kid, and as far as I was concerned, he was just a friendly local ice cream man who everybody liked and will always be there on a hot day to give us a cold treat.
Is he
Those
though?
happy days wouldn't last though.
Exactly.
I was walking home late after hanging out at a friend's place. Since everyone in the neighborhood knew each other, my parents didn't really have a problem with
But
10-year-old
stepping.
me walking the streets alone. It was a hot afternoon, and the path back home was long. So I was excited when I noticed Harry's ice cream truck coming up the road beside me. The fact that the ice cream jingle wasn't playing from the speakers like normal should have been a red flag.
It should have been.
But at the time, all I
They're
could
blowing
think
a
about
run
was
now.
not much. I wanted a strawberry popsicle to beat the heat. I waved down the ice cream truck and waited for it to park. When it did, I rushed over to the side stall, expecting to see the town's favorite boomer. Instead, I was met with someone else entirely. He was a much younger man than Harry, who I'd never before seen in my life.
His son?
And although he smiled as he greeted me, it lacked the friendly warmth I'd expect from the ice cream man I know. "Hey there, kiddo. What are you having?" "Strawberry popsicle, please," I told him. "One strawberry popsicle? Coming right up." The man disappeared into the truck for a moment before emerging with a wrapped red popsicle in his hand. I took it from his hand and noticed that the clear plastic packaging had become slightly torn. It wasn't an unusual sight. The plastic they used for these was as cheap as they came.
That's like
What was
blood, my
odd
guy.
was that I could see the popsicle had already partially melted, smeared the clear plastic with blobs of red. Whoever this new ice cream man was, he wasn't quite as thorough as Harry has been at his job. "This is $1.25, right?" I asked as I rummaged through my pocket with one hand, while holding the still packaged popsicle in the other. The young man held up his hand. "No need to pay," he told me. "Consider it a gift from me to you." I started to like this guy a bit more after he said that.
Nah, that's
"Gee,
weird.
Thanks." Actually, his eyes darted left and right, as if to see if there was anyone nearby. "How about I treat you to some more free ice cream in the truck?" "Why would you do that?" I asked, starting to get suspicious again.
Boy, you better start
See,
backing up.
I'm new here in town, and I want to get along
Back up.
well with the kids here. So why don't you come inside so we can have a little chat?
No.
I'd love to get to know more about this place.
No.
Thank you. I told him. I actually have somewhere to be right now. Oh, well, that's a shame.
Oh,
The man
what
was
the
smiling,
heck?
but I could see from his eyes that he was angry. Take care then. He drove off and I continued my walk home while trying to enjoy my popsicle, which was hard to do with how odd it was. Most of it still tasted like strawberry, but there was also an underlying metallic tint to it that I couldn't quite place. In the end, I couldn't even bring myself to finish the whole thing in one go with how strange it was. When I got home, I put the weird half-eaten popsicle in my freezer to continue eating later and went about the rest of my day as normal.
Unwrap.
The next day, I went downstairs from my room to see the face of the new ice cream man plastered on the news. My parents were both watching it with watery eyes. I was only somewhat shocked to see him there.
Harry.
But I didn't realize why my parents were crying until I listened to the news myself. The young man had been caught by the police in the middle of trying to coax another kid in town into his ice cream truck. They ended up inspecting his ice cream truck for it and found something that left the whole town shaking. Inside the freezer was the bloody body of Harry. His throat had been slit open and he'd been crammed right alongside the ice cream he'd been selling. I realized with horror that the metallic taste I got from that strawberry popsicle the other
Blood.
day
I told you it was blood,
was
man.
Harry's blood.
Ain't nobody
Trickling
gonna
from a
believe
still
me.
fresh corpse onto the packaged ice cream being sold. The news went on to explain that the young man, Harry's murderer, was none other than Harry's own son.
Yeah, they
He owed
say he
money
was
to
arrested
someone
for a,
very violent,
a
but was
murder
planning to sell
or
his
a
own
violent
father's
crime or
organs
whatever.
on the dark web
It's his
to pay for
son.
it. He was even willing to kidnap kids to sell to pedophiles in those dark recesses of the internet. And if not for my common sense, I could have very well been one of them.
Exactly.
The whole
Common
town mourned
sense is
the loss
important.
of their friend while his traitorous son rotted in prison. Hopefully, he'll stay there for the rest of his miserable life for what he did.
And I ain't never going back to another ice cream truck. That's how it should have ended. Also, bro, because y'all was like calling me out. Like, you remember when y'all said y'all wanted us to get to 1 million subscribers, but then when I checked, a lot of y'all not subscribed. Like, I can't just come through and enjoy content real quick. But I subscribed. You got me. Okay. Okay. I feel like I want to watch another one of those. Tree. Okay, we can just go do this one. But yeah, we can just do this one, and I'll probably get off after this. And I think tomorrow, we might start some of the horror games. Some of the horror games that I have downloaded, or we can CC shop for sin stuff. Maybe get on sins, or we can do anything else. Let's start this.
My mother died from a drug overdose, and I never met my father. Eventually, I was put into foster care, and at that time, I was 10 years old. I wasn't exactly a little kid, nor a teenager. I was extremely awkward, and being a girl child with no guardian to look after had perks of its own. The state put me into a foster home located on the outskirts of the city. The house belonged to a woman named Mona, who was in her late 40s. She ran the foster home with 5 kids, including me. Her boyfriend often came to visit her. I never quite liked the guy. He had a very rough face.
Yeah, he looked like
there was a huge scar on his cheek, which signified he must have been in a horrible fight, because that was nothing but a knife scar. Anyways, Mona seemed fond of that guy. Whenever he came, she used to dress and make up a lot. They used to go out and return late at night. By the time they came back, we were all asleep. Among those kids, my only friend was my roommate Maria. Her mother left her on the road, and she was put into foster care by an NGO. Every child who lived in that house had a tragic past to deal with. Mona was not a very affectionate person, but she never ill-treated any of us. She celebrated all of our birthdays on a particular day. This was probably her way of cutting the costs as much as possible. Our rooms were upstairs. Mona's bedroom was the biggest room in the house. She slept downstairs. I was playing with Maria in the backyard one day. She accidentally fell from the swing and hurt her leg. I went to call Mona and knocked on her bedroom door. As she opened I noticed multicolored wallpaper stuck on the walls of her entire room. There were flowers and butterflies printed on them. I stood in awe seeing the grandeur of the room. Her room seemed like a different world altogether because of those vibrant wallpapers.
I'm not buying
She went
it.
to get Maria, but I stood there and kept looking around. Mona got busy with Maria in the living room. I was taking a close look at the wallpaper when
And
suddenly
then,
a woman whispered in my ear, "Help me." I
what
jumped back
the
immediately
heck?
out of shock. I looked around, but I was the only one standing in that room at the
Are
moment.
you though?
I didn't understand. Was it all my imagination, or did I really hear a woman's voice? "Hello? Is there anybody here?" I said nervously. No reply came back, but I started to hear a whispering sound. I concentrated on the sound and figured out it was coming from the bedroom wall right in front of me. I got closer and placed my ear on the wall. "What are you doing?" I turned around and saw Mona standing there and looking at me with a surprised face. Nothing. I was just watching the wallpaper. You have a beautiful room, Mona," I said. "Well, thank you, sweetheart. Come on, let's go. It's time for lunch," she replied. Without wasting a single second more,
Not buying
I
it,
left
bro.
the room with a very awkward face. I knew she saw me leaning on the wall and listening, like a crazy person. A few months passed. 2 kids got adopted, and it was only the 3 of us left in that house. Maria, a boy named Tony, and myself.
Good, Tony.
Tony was younger than us, hence he always listened to us. One day, Mona was working in the kitchen when suddenly a leak took place under the kitchen sink. She called Marco for help. Marco came and started to check out the leak on the pipeline.
And
I was
then-
sitting at the kitchen table and watching him work. "I think there's a screw that needs to be tightened." "Shoot, I don't have a wrench," Marco said. "I think there's one in the basement," Mona replied.
What's going on
None
in
of the
the
kids liked to go to
basement?
the basement, as it was dark and dingy. But Mona was busy and Marco was working as well, so I volunteered. I switched on the basement light and slowly went down the stairs. The basement had a funky smell, probably because it had no window or vent, as such to let the air flow. On the right corner stood a wooden shelf.
Not
I saw
buying
the
it.
wrench sitting on the shelf.
Not buying
I
it.
walked to pick it up just when I noticed a big trunk in the left corner. I thought that there might be toys or something exciting in there, but as I got closer to the trunk, I noticed it was sealed with a metal lock. "There's nothing but junk in it." My eyes followed the
Not
voice,
buying it.
and I saw Marco coming down the stairs of the basement. "Then why is it locked?" I asked curiously. Marco watched me for a moment, and then walked to the shelf and picked up the wrench. "Come on, let's go. We got what we were looking for," he said. I came out of the basement and he locked the door behind me. I'm not sure, but since that day I started to realize that there was something wrong with this place. At night I could hear voices running through the halls, but the more I tried to listen, the more they faded away. One night, I got up from my bed hearing a quarrel downstairs. I tiptoed from my room and peeked from upstairs. I saw Mona and Marco were having a serious argument, but they were speaking in a rough, low voice. "What are you saying? Are you out of your mind?" "Look, I'm telling you, this kid will get us in trouble. Don't talk like an idiot. She's just a dumb kid. She'll never..."
A dumb kid.
you are.
I've had Philo before. Philo's pretty good.
She asked me what was in the trunk today. We have to get rid of it. Oh, come on. Did you chicken out because of a kid? Don't you remember how fooled the cops and
Wait.
kept...
What if the kid's not actually getting adopted?
California were? Listen, darling, there's nothing to worry about, okay?
Wait. What?
Just relax me what was in the trunk today. We have to get rid of it. Oh, come on. Did you chicken out because of a kid? Don't you remember how fooled the cops in California were?
How
Listen,
fooled the cops in
darling,
California
there's
were.
nothing to worry about,
They
okay?
do this.
Just
They do
relax.
this.
I will keep the basement locked at all times from now on. Happy? Yeah, that'll be better. I'll look for a place to get rid of the trunk soon. They went to their bedroom and I returned to my bed. What could be inside of that trunk? I kept thinking.
Bodies
From that day,
of the
Mona
kids
always
that
kept
they
the
claim were
basement door
adopted.
locked. but they couldn't keep
And
the
y'all are
mystery
next.
hidden for long.
And then they're gonna move to the next
It was a Saturday
state.
night. Mona and Marco were out. Tony, Maria, and I were watching TV in the living room. Hey, let's play hide and seek, Maria suddenly said. Tony and I agreed, and we started the game. After a few turns of play, it was my turn to find everyone.
Business.
Ready or not, here I come. I rushed upstairs and started to look for Maria. I easily managed to find Tony as he hid under the bed.
Tony's
but
so cute.
Maria was nowhere to be found.
She didn't got
I
snatched.
realized that she might have hidden downstairs. I rushed downstairs, and after checking the entire living room,
She didn't got
the
snatched.
only place left to hide was Mona's bedroom, because the basement was already locked. I pushed the door of Mona's room and said, I know you're hiding in here somewhere, Maria. I smelled a strong chemical in Mona's room. The odor was coming from the walls. She sprayed something on the wallpaper, which made her room smell like hospital cabins. I walked close to the right wall and checked the vibrant wallpaper pasted on it.
And then what?
As I touched the wallpaper, it felt wet to me, and I became sure that there was a weird liquid applied all over. Suddenly, Maria came out of Mona's cupboard and tried to play a scary prank on me. As she went to grab my neck from behind, I turned around and skillfully dodged her, which resulted in her stumbling upon the wall. As soon as she fell onto the soggy wallpaper, she accidentally tore it, creating a hole. Hundreds of ants and spiders started to crawl out from that hole. It was clear that these insects lived underneath the wallpaper. We were absolutely terrified and came out of the house crying in fear. Our next-door neighbor, Mr. Stewart, came rushing to our house. He got inside Mona's room, and don't know why he immediately called the cops. Within 15 to 20 minutes, the cop cars came, and we saw Mr. Stewart telling them something with a fearful face. The cops broke into the basement, and a horrible truth moved us all. Mona and Marco were none other than convicted murderers who robbed and killed people in California. They murdered around 6 to 7 people and magically found a way to hide the corpses. They escaped from California and came here to live in disguise. But the cops found out that the bones of those victims were kept in that trunk. They would never have been able to discover what happened to the victim's whole body, if not for the day that Maria scratched those wallpapers accidentally. Yes, Mona and Marco skinned their victims and turned their skin into house wallpaper. But they were no professionals, hence they couldn't preserve the skin properly, which attracted insects. They were trying to drive the insects away by using chemicals, but they couldn't hide their grotesque crime. When the cops handcuffed Marco and Mona, I was standing at the house porch with Mariah and Tony. While walking towards the cop car, Marco looked at me and then to Mona. I told you that that kid would get us in trouble. I should have choked that bitch right in her sleep that day. I still can't forget his blood-red eyes when he said how much he wanted to kill me that night. Now it all makes sense to me. That woman's voice from the wall, those whispers running around the house. But I can't tell these to anyone. I know that no one will believe me. I'm just lucky that I didn't end up in their trunk, or as wallpaper on their wall.
Why would you skin somebody and put it on the wall?
One day, I discovered something that changed everything. Curology.
Whoa. That's terrible. What the heck?
Before starting the story, I would suggest you guys to go subscribe to the channel. It turns out that most of you guys who watch me aren't actually subscribed.
You made me subscribe in the last
if you
video,
like the
bro, I'm
content and want to
subscribed.
support the channel,
Okay.
go ahead and subscribe and hit the bell. It's free, and you can always change your mind later.
So y'all can subscribe to my channel as well.
I am a foster mom. I've been running this small foster home for 6 years now.
TV.
I grew up as an orphan.
It's free,
Hence, I
and
feel
you can
bad for
change
every
your mind
kid who is
anytime.
left to live without parental care. A friend of mine runs an NGO that helps these foster kids to get adopted to a loving, caring family at times. My name is Michelle, and this is a story of a new kid whom I just took under foster care. It was a Tuesday morning. I was making breakfast for my other kid, a 9-year-old girl who is also under my shelter. I was busy making pancakes when Jenny said from the other room,
Flapjacks.
"Mommy, your phone is ringing. Someone's calling you." I realized I left my mobile in a hurry in the bedroom, so I ran to get it. I was late, hence the call got disconnected before I could pick up. When I returned, I saw Jenny was all dressed to leave for school and waiting for breakfast. I quickly served her the pancake. "Here you go, Jenny. I made your favorite." She smiled and started to eat them. 10 minutes later, her school bus arrived. I walked her to the bus and she waved me goodbye. I was about to enter when my phone rang again. This time, I rushed to pick it up. It was my friend Kate, who runs the NGO. "Hey, Kate, sorry I couldn't take your call earlier. Jenny just left for school." "No problem. Listen, there's a boy about to arrive at our NGO. He's 7 years old and unfortunately recently lost his parents in a plane crash. The boy has an uncle working overseas, so there's a chance he might go up for adoption. But until that happens, I want you to take care of him. I'll come by with the lawyer and other legal papers tomorrow, and also drop off the kid to your house. Is that okay?" "Oh, sure. Tomorrow evening I'm free." "Tomorrow evening it is then. See you." After the phone call, I went to buy some groceries for tomorrow's dinner. I felt emotional thinking about this poor little child who just lost his parents. I wanted to give him a warm welcome, so I decided to cook something nice. I bought some good quality meat, some fresh veggies, sweets, and chocolate. When Jenny came back from school, I sat her down and said, "Jenny, tomorrow we are going to have another member in this house. A little boy will come and live with us." Jenny got so excited and said, "Wow, I can have a little brother now." I smiled and hugged her for being such a sweet girl. The next day, Jenny and I decorated the entire house with balloons and colorful paper chains. At around 7 p.m., the doorbell rang. Jenny rushed towards the door and opened it with a big smile. Kate was standing there with a small, blonde-haired, blue-eyed boy, and beside them stood a man in his late 50s. I guessed him to be the lawyer of the boy. "Please, come on in," I said with joy. They all came and sat down in the living room. Kate looked at Jenny and said, "You're becoming such a pretty girl." Jenny blushed in happiness. She then looked at the little boy and said, "You're my little brother, right?" We all laughed hearing her adorable words, except the little boy. He sat down like a robot, didn't talk, didn't smile, even for once.
Yeah, we
Kate
watching
said,
Coraline.
"Luke,
That's our
say
first
hi to your
movie
sister.
for movie night.
This is going to be your home now. You'll be very happy here." Luke looked at me and said in a lifeless voice, "Who is she?" "Oh, that's Michelle. She's going to be your best friend from now on," Kate replied. I smiled at him, but he kept staring at me lifelessly. His face was so blank that after some time, his stare started to make me feel weird. We all discussed the legal terms and condition and the details of this procedure. It was good to know that Luke's parents have left him enough money to have a sustainable life ahead. He can go to college and avail all the opportunities without any disturbance. When Kate was leaving, she bid Luke goodbye. Luke didn't go to hug her once. He stood there some time while Kate got into the car and then went back to the couch in the living room. I slowly went and sat beside him. I knew how much trauma this kid had gone through, so I said
No,
in
he
a soft
acting like
voice,
he caused the plane crash.
"Luke, do you want to get some ice cream?"
Yes.
He kept his head down and didn't answer. Jenny said, "Maybe he's tired, Mommy." I smiled and said, "I guess you're right.
Protect Jenny, bro.
You
Don't
keep
let that
watching,
happen to
Luke.
Jenny.
I'll go make your bed." I heard Luke asking her, "Is she your real mom?" Jenny smiled and said, "No, but I like calling her my mommy. She's nice. She's gonna take good care of us." I prepared their beds. I arranged a bunk bed for both of them. Jenny slept on the upper bunk, and I tucked in Luke in the lower bunk. I kissed them goodnight, and Luke turned to the other side of the wall. I went to my room and lied down on the bed. I don't remember the exact time, but I woke up with a strange feeling. With my sleepy eyes, I saw Luke standing right in front of me and breathing heavily. The entire room was in complete darkness. I thought he might be feeling sick, so I turned on the bedside lamp and almost screamed in fear. Luke was standing there, looking at me, except his eyeballs were pale white. I don't know how, but his eyes were turned upside down, revealing the pale white part. I spoke in a fumbled voice.
Like
"Luke,
rolling in the back of his head?
what
Upside
happened to
down.
you?" He blinked once. "My mom is calling me. She's waiting for me in that blue house. My mom. She keeps calling for me." I picked him up from the ground, shouting, Jenny! Jenny! Jenny came running. What happened, Mommy? Call Aunt Kate right now. Please, just call her. Jenny called Kate, but she didn't answer the call. I put Luke on the bed. I got so scared that I couldn't sleep the entire night. Jenny also remained awake with me the whole time. The next morning, when Luke woke up, I asked him, "Do you remember what happened last night?" Luke stared at me, not saying a word. Kate came to see him within some hours after receiving my message. She sat him down and said, "Luke, sweetie, you have to understand that your mom and dad are in heaven now. They're watching you from there. Unfortunately, they can't come here." She wasn't my real mom. We were all shocked to hear this little boy say such a weird thing. Kate and I exchanged a surprised look. "Sweetie, what are you saying?"
Kate, I'm gonna need to
She
take
was
this
your
kid
mom.
back.
She loved you. My mom is in that blue house. She's waiting for me there.
What blue house?
Can you please take me there? None of us was getting what was going on with this child. Out of curiosity, I asked, "Do you know where this blue house is?" Luke replied, "Yeah, I can take you there." What happened next was beyond our expectation.
What the
Kate
heck,
and I thought the best
bruh?
way to help this child would be to do what he says. He probably wants us to go outside. Children can do weird things for weird reasons sometimes. So, we all hopped into my car and I started the engine. Luke sat right beside me and said, "Take the first left." Trust me, guys, he gave me directions like an adult for at least half an hour. And beyond our imagination, after taking the last right turn, we came near a huge lake. On the side of that lake stood a small wooden blue house. We got out of the car and walked towards the main door. Kate knocked on the door twice. We heard slow footsteps inside the house. Within a few seconds, an old woman opened the door. She looked quite like my granny. With surprised eyes, she noticed all of us and said, "Who are you all? Did you make my favorite bread pudding, Mama?" The old woman immediately looked at him and started to sob terribly. She hugged him to her chest and kept crying for hours. We came to know that later, the woman had a son who was in the army. The son often came during holidays to visit her. One morning, she got the news from the army general that her son died like a hero in the war 2 days earlier. His name was Sam. Sam died on the 21st of December,
I'm
on the
not
same day
following.
Luke was born.
Oh,
It might
okay.
seem like a weird coincidence, but every time Sam came to visit his mom, the first thing he would say was, "Did you make my favorite bread pudding, Mama?" and hugged the poor old woman. Luke roamed around the house, telling us very unnatural details,
Ooh,
which only a
I've
member
seen
of that
stuff
house
like
could know.
this.
And the even more terrifying thing
Like
is
they
that the old
came
woman
back.
showed us her son's childhood picture.
Yeah.
It was none other than Luke.
I've seen stuff like that. Where like the kid is like it's not, I don't want to say reincarnated, but like reincarnated into somebody else, and then he died on the day Luke was born.
When I was
they look
younger,
just alike
I
and
wanted
asking the
kids
same
more
thing.
than
That's
anything else in the
crazy.
world. But when I discovered I
So
would never
what was
be
the end
able
of
to
that?
carry children of my own,
Did
I
he live
decided
with
to be
her?
a foster parent.
Did she have the bread
My
made?
husband was happy to do this with me, since alternative methods of having
I've
our own
fostered
children
dogs
were
before.
well out of our affordable
Or a
range.
dog.
We fostered children for years, and though every child has had their own issues and challenges, I've loved them all. There was one child we took in that was different though. The last child we ever provided a temporary home for. Simon wasn't immediately different than the other children we had cared for, but there was always something off-putting about him. He was quiet, withdrawn almost. It wasn't uncommon for children who came from less fortunate situations, but I didn't have any solid information about his past. For some reason unknown to me, the organization wouldn't tell me anything about him other than his age and his name. I'm usually always given at least a minimal briefing on the child's past. I have to know what could trigger them. There are always topics to avoid
Got on the
and different
CL
ways to
fit.
be sensitive to different
Y'all
situations.
like Black Butler?
With Simon, we had to go in blind.
I watched
I was left
all
to draw my own
seasons, the
conclusions as
movie,
to what horrors
and
he might have
considering
seen.
a rewatch.
He didn't appear to have any visible scars, and when I tried to hug him, he didn't flinch. A good sign. Children of abuse typically flinch whenever there are arms raised. I had no interest in pressing him for where he came from. I figured as he got comfortable, he would open up to me. So I began the all-star treatment that I'd had success with in
Fostering
the past.
kids is honestly,
We let him choose a color to paint his room and did it all together.
These kids
I
coming
should have
from
taken
these
note of the
different
color he jumped to right
situations.
away, but I just wanted to make him happy. Giving him the power to make choices was one of the first steps to him feeling safe, and so we painted his room an obnoxious blood red. When I asked Simon what else he might like to decorate his room with, he thought on it for a long moment. I expected him to blurt out fire trucks or superheroes, but I had been wrong. Maybe some skulls, or fire, or how about both? This was the first excited thing I heard come out of his mouth, and truthfully, I was a bit disturbed. I laughed it off in the moment, thinking he had just been acting out. Just one of the many red flags that I would ignore during his stay.
She's sitting.
This was the point I decided to try to ask Simon about his past. I figured I might try asking if he had been to certain places as a way to ease into asking where he had lived before. But before I could get much out, he seemed to sense my unease. "Are you scared of me, Mommy? All of my mommies are scared of me." He smirked. "All of your mommies? Of course not, sweetheart. Why would you say that?" I tried to keep a smooth expression, despite my concern at his statement. "Don't worry, Mommy. You'll be scared soon." He stared at me blankly for a long moment, and then started laughing hysterically. After that comment, Simon refused to say anything else on the topic. I asked him why his mommies were scared of him, and he was silent. As you could probably guess, I was confused and slightly worried by this, but the organization hadn't given me anyone to contact. I'd only seen his social worker when he arrived, but they hadn't given me her contact number, and I'd never met her before that day.
That's weird.
One day, I was working in the garden.
Running like that,
Simon
bro?
was running around. "Simon, slow down," I said in a loud voice. He looked at me and started to run towards me, making a very weird face.
Yo.
I just stood there and watched him coming towards me. I was feeling uncomfortable, but I didn't move, thinking that he was just trying to play with me.
That face does
He
not
came
look
very
playful.
close to me and gestured his hands in a stabbing motion. I said, "What are you trying to do?" He smirked and replied, "I was checking to see if you were afraid of dying or not." "Simon, you can't say things
Simon,
like that,
you gotta
know?
go. I'm so sorry. I don't know.
I have done way more than I spoke." And he walked towards the house. I don't know how long I stood there, stunned with fear. I decided to follow up on his whereabouts. I went to that organization the next day. As I inquired about him to the manager of the organization, I saw his face turning pale. He said, "Why?
You're
Did
like
he try
Gordon.
to hurt anyone?" I was utterly shocked to hear such a statement, because why would someone say something about a little child for no reason? I looked at the man with a very angry face and almost screamed, saying, "Will anyone tell me what the hell is wrong with this child?" The man then said Simon was adopted by 2 other families, and each family suffered mysterious accidents resulting to the death of child, and don't know why those parents claim Simon was involved in those accidents some way. The general manager looked at me and said, "Ma'am, we're trying to contact his real parents. You will be the first to be informed once we've dug out any single information on him.
So where
Till
can this
then,
kid be?
Watch him and be careful."
No,
His
bro.
last
Y'all
words,
trying to
"Be
set me up for the
careful,"
okie
ran a
doke.
shiver down my spine.
You tell me all
I got
that
into
and
the
say you
car
just
and
watch
drove
him until
home.
we got more
The moment
information.
I stepped inside the house, I received the shock of my life. Simon was sitting on the floor, holding my other foster child, Carrie, by her neck. He placed a sharp knife on her neck and stared at me with hatred and disgust. "Simon, what are you doing? This is dangerous. Let her go." Carrie kept sobbing out of fear. I walked closer to him, just when, "Don't try and come closer, or I'll cut her open." Words like that coming from a child is definitely not something one is used to hearing.
Exactly.
I realized that the only way to stop him from doing something crazy is to calm him down with my words. "Baby, let her go. Mommy is here to take care of you. You don't want to do this, Simon." "Really? If
said
you
I
wanted to
kinda
take care
do.
of me, then why did you go back to the organization? Carrie told me you went there to find my real parents. I don't want my real parents. I don't have any real parents. They are all dead." My body was numb in fear. What are you saying, Simon? What happened to your parents?
He killed them.
I
What'd you
burned
know?
the house down while they slept. I still recall their screams and cherish those memories.
He cherished those memories.
Suddenly, my eyes went to the glass window, and I saw my husband standing there and gesturing me to keep calm. I realized that he probably had called the cops by now. All we had to do was save Carrie from Simon. That way he couldn't hurt him. I started to sob. Simon, baby, please let her go.
Baby.
We can all be a
Ain't
family.
no
I
way.
love you. Daddy loves you.
Stop that
Why are you
line.
doing this? Daddy doesn't love me.
Oh,
But I thought you really did.
Stop that line.
But you broke my trust. And now here's your punishment for that. He lifted the knife, aiming at Carrie's throat. I jumped. No! I ended up guarding Carrie with my hand, but before I could pull her out from Simon's grasp, he slashed my arm. My husband bolted inside and unarmed Simon immediately. Simon was screaming like a hungry wolf, and his eyes were burning like hellfire. My husband held him tightly so that he couldn't do anything or hurt anyone. The cops finally came and took Simon to a correctional facility. This experience is why Simon was the last foster child we ever raised. I couldn't face the thought of caring for another murderous child. He has no recollection of the
You
darkness
gotta give
he
me
held.
all the facts.
He still loves his home with us. The last time I went to visit him at the correctional home, he looked at me with the same lifeless stare and said, "You were the first mommy who wasn't scared of me. And you'll be my last mommy, too."
Absolutely not, bro. Okay, gang. Well, that tripod scared the mess out of me. I think I'm gonna call it here. I've enjoyed myself to the point where I'm kind of uncomfortable sitting in this chair. And, yeah, I think I just want to go ahead and call it. I hope if anybody stopped by, had a great time. You know, we got to watch some horror shorts. It's been a long time since I've been able to just sit and chill on stream because of everything that's been going on, but I'm glad that I'm back. I hope to see you guys tomorrow. Tomorrow I'll actually get into some type of gameplay. Like I said, can maybe play some of the horror games that I have. We can CC shop for Sim stuff, play the Sims. I do need to get back into Stardew Valley because I'm still in the dreaded winter season and I'm waiting to get back to spring so we can bank our money up there and, you know, get ready for spring because I think I had like a few days left before it was spring on that game. And I am really thinking about doing a movie night this Saturday and us watching Coraline. I'm going to put it in the Discord. If you want to join the Discord, you can do exclamation point Discord in the chat to get that Discord link because that seemed like a plan. That seemed like a plan. I just got to make sure I'm not doing anything this Saturday, but I'm really thinking about doing that. And maybe our movie nights can be Saturdays or our little community nights. Somebody let me know how to, you know, connect the game to the Discord so we can play games. Like we can maybe play Fortnite. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not the best at Fortnite, but I'm getting better. Like I've had a couple wins, but we can play Fortnite. I don't think I have any other like multiplayer games, but we can play Fortnite for sure and watch some movies. So I'm definitely down. If you guys are down, I will post in the Discord a little bit after I get off so I can get you guys' feedback who are already in the Discord and you guys can let me know what y'all think. But yeah, I think I'm gonna head and go. Like I said, I enjoy myself here. This is like the longest stream I've done in a while. 2 hours, almost 2 hours and 30 minutes. But yeah, like I said, I am posting a video. It's actually probably already out now for my Britneyverse TV channel. Another introductory video explaining kind of why I started and what I want to get out of having this page and streaming in general. So if you will take the time to watch it, I definitely would appreciate it. I'm also, what do I want to say? Do I want to say anything else? I hate this because I get on stream and I'm like, yeah, I want to talk about this before I get off. And then I don't talk about it. Like, I need to make, like, stream notes and like tidbits so I can, you know, say everything that I want to say. But I think that's it. I literally can't think of anything else I want to say right now. So I'm going to go ahead and call it. But I hope to see you guys very, very soon, aka tomorrow, because I want to get back up here and stream tomorrow. And for the rest of the week. I want to say I'll be streaming 10:30, 11, 12ish for a couple hours because I do have training and it's a evening training, so my trainings are 6 to 10, so I can't do like one of these right now. So I'm thinking like late morning, afternoon, somewhere in there. So yeah, that all being said, thanks for stopping by. If you found any of those videos interesting, some of them were kind of wild, bro, like but yeah, thank y'all for stopping by. I'm gonna go ahead and go before I start rambling. I will see y'all tomorrow. Peace.